Everybody say hi, Tugg.
Hi, Tugg.
These children at the West Irving Library are meeting Tugg. He's not just any bull terrier.
And as you can see, he's got his superhero cape on.
He was awesome.
Tugg is a star. He has more than 18,000 Facebook fans, hits the field with the Cowboys cheerleaders, and he's the lead in his own comic book.
Are you my friend now? This is actually, yeah, the release party.
Did you get one of the trading cards over there?
The secret of his fame can be found by looking at his rough past. It is a story that Kim and Blake Ovard share with everyone they encounter during his public appearances.
When we found Tugg, this is what he looked like.
4 years ago, Tugg was wrapped in a blanket and staked the side of a highway.
You know those yard signs where you hammer it into the yard? They did that on the corner of the blanket so that he couldn't move.
His eyes were closed, swelled shut.
And he would hear you at the front of the cage. Even though his eyes were swollen shut, he would still wander to the front of the cage and try to come up and see you.
And the vet said, there's nothing we can do. He needs to go.
We knew that he wanted to live.
He had that spark.
And if you were sick and you told somebody that you wanted to live, you'd want them to help you, right? So that's what we did. We helped Tugg. And as he got better, he started moving around more, and that's when we started realizing what a personality he had.
And that's when his adventures would start.
These comic book fans became comic book authors. They realized Tugg's journey could inspire.
Everything is loving it forward. Tugg calls it woofing it forward. So that's part of what inspired us with the comic book, because it just spreads. If we all help each other, just think how great the world would be, you know? I know, buddy. Yes, you're a good boy.
Just as Tugg seems naturally photogenic, he also instinctively took to a role as therapy dog, visiting children in wheelchairs. Listen to one case.
He had really bad cerebral palsy and some other things going on, so his motor coordination wasn't real good. But Tugg sat his head in his lap and was real patient with the kid as the kid tried to pet him. And the kid smiled, this ear-to-ear smile. And the person, the caregiver that was with him says, I haven't seen him smile in months.
Taking Tugg all over could be a full-time job, but for the Ovards,
My full-time job is an animal control officer.
Kim works in Irving. Her husband is an officer in Burleson.
They're having trouble with the raccoon.
We went along as Kim answered calls with fellow Irving officer Laura Holmes. The calls range from urban wildlife
We'll take him and we'll relocate him.
to injured family pets.
The kitten was in an engine of a truck and they started the engine, so she's injured. She's calm enough, I'm gonna hold her just so she can feel some warmth.
I know, I hear you.
Kim Ovard wants to change the stereotype some people have of animal control.
I think what you see in animal control and shelters, every animal has its own soul and its own personality, and you just see this little life in there trying to do the best it can.
Handsome, come here.
Even though this cat is clearly in rough shape, Kim named him Handsome.
He deserves to know he's handsome.
A test revealed he's FIV positive.
He's very loving, he's very sick. Sometimes the sickest just need a kind hand. I don't know that we can help him, but we try to do everything we can.
No question that cases like these are tough. But then there is also always inspiration.
This is what keeps me going every day. Little Gur came to us, he was only 3 weeks old. He's been with me for a week, 24 hours a day. He is being bottle fed and hand fed. It's my job to be sure that this little soul gets to another home.
But the Ovard's greatest motivation comes from a bull terrier named Tugg.
Every day I have a bad day at work, I come home and see this guy, and things brighten.
So they share that inspiration through daily Facebook messages and in person at programs like this one offered by Episcopal Church of the Redeemer.
Because there's a lot of superhero dogs out there, we just don't know it yet.
The lessons include pet care and even anti-bullying.
I really hope that they take to be kind, because you never know, the outside doesn't mean as much as the inside. They saw how bad he was on the outside, but he wanted to live, so it was what was on the inside that counts.
It feels like some of the adults got something out of it too.
So much. It was just always a sad thing for me to think about volunteering at a shelter. And now when you see the happy stories and the need to get the word out.
To have people like this that will come and rescue them and then show children how heartwarming and how important it is to value and take care of these creatures.
The Ovards know there are many more people to reach. They are reminded of that every day at work.
How do we make it so these places don't have to be? How can I work myself out of a job? What can I do to educate people?
I'm really worried about Ducky and Monkey. I know Ajax is covering the ground at super speed.
Tugg is doing his part, starring in web videos and appearing in that comic book.
We're mailing comics all across the world.
Any money raised goes to rescue more animals in need. Animals that, like Tugg, are starting on a rough path but could end up thriving.
If everybody would woof it forward, the world would be a much better place. If everybody just did that for one person a day, the world would change.
A Dog's Life Lessons for everyone.
We can all be down and be upset about something, but let's be positive.